Yes, this is Good Afternoon, Ghana. You're welcome to the program. And today we have quite a number on the table and stories that we have gathered. We're going to give the rest of it to you. Harriet Addy standing by to bring us the details of the stories. But before that, let me just alert you that we'll get into the details of the Water Lake accident that happened, which has claimed about 15 lives. That has been in the news. We've been speaking with authorities. Today we'll try and interact with the OT regional minister and then also find some updates there. We're told that some river guards are going to be deployed to the area to check what has to be done before a boat leaves the shore. That is by abiding by the rules that have been set by, using the river. We will also, John Kojo Japan will speak to us. And then later on, we'll also interact with the MPP. Last week, we tried to engage from different camps of the political party, those who are actually yearning to lead the party. Members from the camps will join us here on the platform, from the Kennedy Japan camp, from the Baumia camp, from the, I think, one other, I'll remember maybe after the news briefs. But Harriet is ready to come by with the stories. Harriet, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ian. Thank you very much. I'm doing well yourself.
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, let's take a look at the headlines. International Monetary Fund is projecting a 4% growth rate for Ghana while holding inflation at 12% by the end of 2025. And following the incident that resulted in the death of 16 people at Okuma in the Karachi West, Ghana Maritime Authority says it will soon deploy between 250 and 300 safety guards across inland water communities. Anti-illegal mining operation secretariat continues its fight against the illegal mining with a major operation targeting illegal mining sites in the eastern region. We'll bring you more of this and many others coming up shortly. That's our first story. The ranking member of the Communications and Information Committee, Matthew Nyandam, has accused the Minister for Communications, Samuel Nate George, for putting Ghana's telecommunications sector in jeopardy, alleging that the country has lost significant revenue under his leadership, particularly in the case of Airtel Tigo. He made the remarks while addressing the press in Parliament today.
We call you for this press conference to address an important issue which has been running for months, and yet the Ghanaians still do not have a clear understanding of what is happening. As a minority caucus, we have hesitated in making public pronouncements on the issues because the telecommunication industry is a capital-intensive sector, and we fear risking the huge investment of actors in that sector. And we feared risking huge investment of actors in that sector. However, the conduct of the Minister of Communication and his action over the past 6 months, since he resumed office, has put the industry in a jeopardy and has particularly diminished the value of the only wholly Ghanaian-owned telecommunication company, which is AT. The minister runs rampage with pronouncements that has caused chaos in the telecom sector and specifically caused the loss of revenue to AT. In addition to the state of confusion that has thrown the staff and management of AT into, the minister lacks of corporate governance. Manners has not been on notice. So today, we want to address you and inform the people of Ghana development in respect of AT. Ghanaians will recall that in January 2018, 2 private mobile networks operators in Ghana, which is Airtel, and government has 25% in it, and Tigo, merged and consolidate resources to improve operation, reduce operational costs, and create a stronger competition. The merger created the country's second largest mobile network operator, which is AT. However, the inability of the new company, AT, to invest in the much needed infrastructure despite their competitor, which is MTN and Vodafone, now Telecel, invest in 4G. 4G technology was still a source of vulnerability to AT. AT could not achieve the goal of the merger as their operation became unsustainable. Hence, a decision to close operation in Ghana in February 2020. Even though Airtel had indicated that it will consider consolidation of opportunities, including exits in the market where it's not among the top.
And the minority further cautioned that it will not sit idle and watch the sector collapse under the current minister's leadership, warning that any secretive deals will be subjected to future review.
Possibly legal action. We therefore remind Telecel that state assets are held in trust for the people of Ghana, not for the benefit of private interest or political expedience. Any company that chooses to be complicit in such an irregular transaction should be prepared to face reputational damage, legal scrutiny, and potential nullification of any agreement entered under such circumstances. Further, it is our position that the whole transaction is unconscionable and failure to desist from engaging in at Airtel's own risks. This is not merely about the sale of a company. It is about protecting national institutions that have served Ghana diligently, nurtured some of the finest talents in the industry, and proving its strategic importance in moments of national crisis. Together, industry veterans, current staff, policymakers, and the highest office of the land, we must act decisively to ensure that AT remains in the hands of Ghanaians and continue to serve customers of our digital and economic future. Given this reality, the minority family observe that any decision regarding the future of AT must be subject to full parliamentary scrutiny.
Away from that, the International Monetary Fund has projected a 4% growth rate for Ghana by the end of 2025. This was contained in IMF's Global Economic Outlook report. There's more.
The report, which was released on the sidelines of the annual World Bank and IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C., USA on October 14, 2025, expects Ghana's economy to grow faster at 4.8% in 2026. The projection is slightly below the 4.4% growth target set by the government of Ghana in the 2025 national budget. Ghana's economy expanded by 6.3% in the second quarter of 2025, driven mainly by the services sector, which grew by 9.9% and contributed the largest share to GDP. Although the IMF did not give an explicit reason for its projection, sources close to the fund said that the outlook reflects Ghana's ongoing economic reforms and that the IMF program, which are supporting recovery and fiscal stability. The IMF forecast is, however, slightly lower than the World Bank's forecast.
And joining us for a short conversation is Jeffrey Okanse, who is the Executive Director for Revenue Mobilization Africa. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Now let's talk about the 4% projections by the IMF and what it means for the economy against projections by the government.
Well, if you look at what the government projected of 4.4%, and then look at what the IMF has actually also projected, it means that there's hope for growth. That is the underlying factor. And then the need to also see that like the difference is not significant. I mean, 0.4, it is not an outlier. If we're doing a research and then your outcome is 4% here and then 4.4, I mean, I don't think you didn't land right. You landed right. Again, what you want to see the growth to mean for our case is to look at growth in which sectors.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you were growing in the mining sector, and for example, I mean, it goes to talk about the big mining companies. These are multinational enterprises. They'll actually evacuate most of their profits outside the country. So you see a GDP figure rise and the growth expand, but not impacting your sectors that the way of life of the people. But then if you had a growth of 4%, as you can see it, and majority of growth is going to the areas of agriculture and then industry growth, that's where you will be positive. You know, I mean, it means that you are creating jobs, you are actually expanding your tax base, so you can now collect company income tax, and then you can also collect the pay as you earn from the worker population. So indeed, that means that you are expanding and you continue expanding. So in which sectors we are going to be seeing this growth is very important for us to focus our lenses on. Okay. For a good news is that we're going to be growing as an economy.
Definitely. But can you mention some of the sectors that you think we're going to experience this growth?
I want to see the agri sector, because I've seen like the current government has been doing something around the Nkuko and Kiti. We've been crying around the poultry industry because, hey, we are actually having a boom of importing poultry, rice, sugar. And so if you have initiatives that are actually going to boom the agri sector, you want to see that growth reflect. I mean, in our joking parlance, we say show working. We need to be seeing the government show us that that's what they promised. I mean, for poultry, let's see the impact of Nkuko in Kiti. We want to see the agri support that they are giving to the young people. National Service, they have a farm. What are we going to be getting from that side? How much are we pumping in? Properly targeting the big push to reflect in the agri activities is key, to reflect also in the 4% growth. And then when you look at industry, value addition, you want to see some of this growth sprinkle over to even sectors that people might not have been thinking of. If you are looking at a big push project, another thing about these free menstrual pads, are we going to be sourcing it internally? Yes, that's what we said. So are we going to be seeing industrial growth in that area where people are creating jobs for other people, and then we are seeing it impact on the lives of the people? Someone will ask you, why my passion? I mean, it directly affects the young girl in school and keeps them in school, actually. So these are the growths I want to see in areas where industry will be growing to sprawl over, adding value to our agri products, from cocoa to beans to, I mean, any other thing to transform something. I mean, I want to see that growth go on. I mean, so if you want to talk about the growth, talk about sectors that it will reflect in our life, and then we can see prices go down, because maybe the growth would affect agriculture. And then when I go to the market, I should buy plantain at a very cheap or reasonable price, maize, and then buy the rest of the products for my food. I like food a little bit, I mean, so that's it. That's why I went to the food industry, actually.
But the IMF said that the inflation will be 12% at the end of 2025. Do you think it's going to go up? Do you agree with that report?
I project better. I'm one of the people who projected that we're going to be hitting low numbers around this time. And for the last quarter, as you see, October, November, December, where we are now, I expect to see even better. I would lock it for naysayers, I'll lock it for 10% for them.
Okay.
But I'll be happy and extremely excited if we can just halt and then reverse the trend to about a single digit. I would celebrate my Christmas with smiles if I had a single digit inflation to boast of. Not just that, but also reflective in the lives of the people. That to say that during Christmas, if we are buying basic things like rice, condo, oil, all those prices should be reflective. You know, Christmas jollof should be reflecting, so that my Nigerian friends can see that, look, Ghana jollof is still on top. So in a nutshell, I'll say, look, I would want to see a drop down, I mean, but let's not take it all away. I think these spillovers also came from the previous efforts, from the previous government also pushing in some other, things in place. And we are adding on. Government is a continuum. So plus to all the governors who actually acted well, the Bank of Ghana governor has said that he's going to push something in there to manage the cedi dollar crisis, and I think what he's done better with the cedi to dollar relationship. But a further drop of that would affect our sales. I mean, we'd be buying some of those things at reasonable prices. I've always said reasonable because I still want to see a further push down in cost and prices. Food prices in Ghana is not friendly. But I think we should work so hard and make Christmas a better place. So this very last quarter, I expect to see a single-digit inflation, but coupled well with a good growth in the agri sector and the industrial sector to peg with.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having
joining
me.
us.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
And we have been talking to Jeffrey Okanse, who is the Executive Director for Revenue Mobilization Africa. And away from that, President John Dramani Mahama has revealed that Ghana and China are set to conclude a zero-tariff agreement by the end of October 2025. Now, speaking at a presidential investment forum in Beijing, China also maintained the expansion of its zero-tariff policy to cover all 53 African countries, to include Ghana, and is set to maintain diplomatic ties to boost Africa's economy after offer the continent a benchmark to seek equal or better terms from other trading partners.
Between 2020 and 2024, China's exports to Ghana rose by nearly 46%, while Ghana's exports to China increased by over 11%. China's decision to grant zero tariff access to Ghanaian and African products signals the confidence in our partnership. It opens vast new markets for Ghanaian exporters, agro-processors, and manufacturers. And I'm happy to inform you that we reached agreement in principle, and we have targeted the end of October to be able to sign off on the zero tariff principle. I wish to commend the government of China for this act of solidarity. We are all aware that the multilateral rules-based trading system is being upended by unilateral slapping of tariffs on different countries. This is the time for us to solidarize and to come together, and this initiative by China is very timely.
President Mahama also says an international interministerial committee is set to be inaugurated to conduct feasibility studies ahead of the establishment of a green digital city in Ghana. He estimates the project to be completed in phases within 20 years. Speaking at the same event, he indicated that the first phase will begin before 2029.
As part of Ghana's transformation, we plan to establish a new green city that will straddle the three regions of Greater Accra, Volta, and Eastern regions. I'll soon inaugurate an interministerial committee to guide the design and feasibility study of this new city. I'll also appoint a transaction advisor to lead the process for the implementation of this all-important project. This will be a green digital city and will display cutting-edge technology in urban design, planning, and innovation. This city is planned to be a 20-year project executed in 4 phases, and my expectation is that the first phase will commence before my tenure of office runs out. I invite our Chinese colleagues to be a part of this all-important project.
And the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has visited Okuma in the Karachi West municipality of the OT region to formally commiserate with the families of 16 people who tragically lost their lives in a recent boat accident in the area on October 11, 2025. Donating over 600 life jackets and other relief items to support the bereaved and affected families, the Vice President urged the community members in such areas to cultivate the habit of wearing life jackets before onboarding boats to prevent such accidents.
On Saturday, October 11, 2025, around 20 people, including children, were traveling from Okumakra to Dabume for funeral when the canoe they were in capsized in the River Oti. While 8 individuals were rescued, 16 lives were lost. During a visit by the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and her entourage to extend her heartfelt condolences to the families and community of Ketikrachi following the tragic boat accident on the Volta Lake, she described the loss of the 16 as a national tragedy.
Enso enya da na ba na sa nti e ba na sei nso so ni nyina nso so Said the actually said the TB and then Yamiasi, Yana Edding, and so obeying the day. They are but as some I bet no, Anya and ya some day.
We always hope for good news. However, in everything, we must thank God. It's unfortunate what happened to the victims. We are here to commiserate with you.
Baba say, and a campaign near the human sunny idea, and no mirror ho. Nemum, we are Nuvia. Nipa now no more at a minus or so. Or haben no moon. I'm a near Bena Abba. It's a baya, where the entomb of a bomodiano.
She emphasized the importance of using life jackets to help prevent such unfortunate incidents in the future.
If you are now to send me, Kawinyanka, oh, in the to baby men say, your best ray. Your best pa, your pamucho. Yenshe. Yenshe na a wapaya, a bonny power bang. And he said, I'm Sister Kaya, no say, and soon also so different kinds of transportation. And think I want more trotro, and I'm your bobo yani I do soon. Go be better than moi. Now I shall sell or she be.
We are pleading with you to always cultivate the habit of wearing life jackets. It has ways of protecting your life.
The best room. And as a son, you're too one more. Nanka away, a way, the baby bimbo babacam.
In an effort to support the affected families, the Vice President presented over 600 life jackets, mosquito nets, cooking oil, 100 bags of rice, second-hand clothing, and a monetary donation of 200,000 Ghana cedis to help cover funeral expenses.
The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Dr. Kamaldeen Ali, has stated that the search is still on to recover the body of one of the persons involved in a boat tragedy which happened in Ketekrachi in the Oti region, which led to the death of 15 persons. He also added that the authority will soon deploy between 250 and 300 safety guards across inland water communities by the end of the year as part of efforts to improve safety and prevent boat disasters on the country's waterways. He spoke on Good Morning Ghana.
There were 19 people on the boat. 4 survived, 15 perished, and out of the 15, unfortunately, as many as 11 are children. And all the bodies have been retrieved except one that currently effort is being undertaken to also identify, to also search and recover that particular body. Most of the incidents are as a result of human error, and one of your panelists have just mentioned that this particular incident happened because of what we call overloading of people on a boat. But we are aware of this situation and we are taking measures as much as possible. We are going to start the recruitment of safety guards soon. We are waiting for clearance, and the clearance is almost here. And we'll recruit safety guards, train them to enhance our presence almost everywhere. It's almost like we need to be everywhere, but as you are aware, we can also employ people to have one person for one boat. So we will do our best. So by the end of the year, the deployment of the 250 to 300 safety guards will also help enhance safety in the communities.
Away from that, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat Task Force continues its fight against illegal mining with a major operation targeting illegal mining sites in the eastern region, resulting in arrest and destruction of equipment belonging to the illegal miners.
The operation focused on 2 key areas: Oda and Kwanta in the Brim Central Municipality and Akanteng Asamankese. Acting on intelligence from an informant, the task force's first point of contact was Oda and Kwanta, where 3 excavators were found operating at an illegal mining site. Upon the team's arrival, the miners fled, leaving behind personal belongings, 2 excavators on site, and 1 hidden in a nearby bush. Their illegal activities had caused severe damage to cocoa farms and led to the blockage of a river that, according to local sources, flows directly into the River Brim. 2 of the 3 excavators on site were immobilized by removing 2 monitors. The team also set fire to personal belongings, water hoses, and a heavy-duty water pumping machine found at the site. In total, the following items were confiscated: 5 motorbikes, 4 excavator batteries, and 5 monitors. Based on further intelligence, the task force proceeded towards Akanteng Chibi. On their way, they spotted 2 excavators working a few kilometers from the main road leading to Oda Township. When the team approached, the miners fled once again, abandoning their machines.
Some parents seeking admission for the awards into senior high schools have raised concerns over what they describe as an overloaded and financially burdensome admission prospectus. They say the long list of items coupled with high levies is putting undue pressure on them. Some of these parents are calling on government to stabilize prices, potentially through reduced import duties on educational materials. Grace Nyako has more in this report.
As students prepare to return to the classrooms in the coming days for a new academic session, it has emerged that many families are finding it difficult to cope with demands. The high cost of living in the country could not allow many parents and guardians to adequately save towards sending their children back to school this month. Although they acknowledge that the first term usually comes with extra costs, they hinged their predicament on the fact that while they had not recorded any increase in their incomes lately, the prices of school uniforms, textbooks, and exercise books have substantially gone up, even as some schools, especially privately owned ones, have jacked up their fees. They explain that the list of items they are required to buy is long and expensive, making it difficult for them to afford everything at once. The parents are therefore appealing to government or school authorities to find ways of easing the financial burden on them.
The costs of Enyema Etotoniadum is very bad.
The cost of items is just too high. Times are hard, and we are pleading with the government to do something about it. If things do not change, we will not be able to send our children to school.
List of items is too long. Before you finish buying just a few, all your money will be finished. We are appealing to the authorities to reduce the number of items so we can afford them.
Meanwhile, traders who sell school items say business has been good in recent weeks, as parents are purchasing the required items for their awards.
Parents are coming to buy school items because school is about to reopen. Many are getting what their children need.
They are buying the items, but I sometimes reduce the prices to help them. Business has been good so far.
Managing editor of Insight newspaper, Kwesi Pratt, has disagreed with Haruna Idrisu, the Minister of Education, over the prescribing of upgrading and degrading senior high schools as a way of curbing the ongoing school placement brouhaha. Member of Parliament for Ifie constituency Isaac Boamanyako equally called for the balance of priorities, urging that some schools be built and infrastructure invested in. They spoke on Metro TV's Good Morning Ghana.
Well, I think what is to build schools with uniform standards throughout the country and for everybody. Understand? And
which was a vision of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, wasn't it?
Of course. And then also not just that, you would recall that the last government, and I'm talking about the Akufo-Addo government, sought to limit the influence of parent-teacher associations in the development of the schools. Ideally, all of us, as citizens of the same country, ought to have the same right to education, which means that there ought to be equality of opportunity and there ought to be equality of standards. And so that's what we should be working at. I'm not so sure that what the minister is prescribing is the way out, that every now and then you upgrade a few to join the elite and so on. I don't think that solves the problem. Really.
Why do
schools? You know, the whole effort should be aimed at eliminating elitism, the parity of quality across the country. That should be the objective. Of course, it takes resources. And I don't think that the Ghanaian economy is out of the woods yet. So how do you generate the necessary resources in order to equalize access and equalize standards?
Those days when we were going to school, we had a school like Ahantaman Secondary School, okay? Someone, at that time, it was a category C, right? But there was an attempt to upgrade the facilities in that school. As we speak today, it is one of the best performing schools in the region. And parents don't have difficulty even sending their children there than to our Bishop Porter Girls or to GSTS. Parents are very comfortable in sending their children to Antaman because even when they go there, they are able to get the results that you want. And so we shouldn't just be looking at merely saying, I'm going to look at 10 schools or 20 schools.
Member of Parliament for the Efia constituency and Kwesi Pratt Jr. speaking on the platform. Well, that's it for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Adi-Ani.
Yes, Harry. Thank you. Thank you for the updates there. So those are some of the stories that we brought to you. We are still continuing. It is Good Afternoon Ghana. And after the stories, we always get into the details of the matters that have been raised by the reader, Harriet Adi. We're focusing more on the boat capsize that happened in the Oti region. And we also know that the Vice President, Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has paid a visit. Donated some life jackets. That's if we're going to make good use of them. We'll be speaking with the minister pretty shortly. Let's go for a breather. When we come back, we go online.
In life, choice is good. But Choice Plus Safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Go be from to be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter what you're lucky, everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame.
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Africa's Green Future starts here. ISTA 2025. Join the second International Conference on Environment, Social, Governance and Sustainable Development of Africa, happening October 23rd to 24th at the Gimper Executive Conference Center, Accra, Ghana, and online. Theme: From Cradle to Cradle, putting ESG and sustainability first in Africa's green transition efforts. Register now at ista.greencommunitiesgh.com or call This event is in collaboration with key academic partners, including industry partners are proudly sponsored by Let's Shape Africa's Sustainable Future Together at ISDA 2025.
Hooray, Ghana! The Ministry of Transport and its agencies invite you to the Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair 2025. It's the first of its kind in Ghana. From 22nd to 24th October 2025, the World Trade Center Accra comes alive with cars, ship, train, logistics and plane dealers all in one place. Are you a modern car dealer? Do you sell electric vehicles? Then this fair is your platform to shine. Students and the general public will experience free electric car test drives, thrilling maritime showcases, and even free helicopter rides. All 15 agencies under the Ministry of Transport, plus global car dealers, airlines, logistic giants, and investors will be there with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as our guest of honor. Register now at info.digitaligh.org, 0244-613-246, or visit our website www.transportlogfair.org. The Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair 2025. Beyond movement, resetting Ghana's transport future.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Afternoon, Ghana. Let me do a quick one with the tragedy that hit us once again. Of course, it has been a repeated strategy when it comes to boats capsizing on the River Volta. Now, about 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, 11th of October 2025, a tragic boat accident on the Volta Lake near Ketekrachi in the OT region has, claimed updates is that 16 lives. So we, with 4 surviving, the incident occurred when the passengers were traveling in a small boat from Okuma to the Bovime in the Krachi West District after a funeral. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, visited the area yesterday and also announced that the government will cover the full cost of the burial for the 16 victims who lost their lives in the Okuma boat accident at the Ketekrachi in Oti region. She met with the bereaved families and also community members to express the government's condolences and provide relief support. Now we have the Oti Regional Minister, John Kojo Japong, who has joined us via phone, I'm told. If he's there, can Honorable Member, Regional Minister, you're welcome to Good Afternoon, Ghana. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners.
Great. It's good to have you, and our condolences to the families of your region.
Thank you.
Kindly brief us. So is the Vice President still in the area, or she's back in the capital city?
She's back to the capital city yesterday. She left around 5 o'clock in the evening for Accra. Yeah, so as I speak to you, she's in Accra.
Okay. And what also can you tell us about the families who've lost their children and members to this tragedy?
Yeah, we met the family, they are brave families, and they were happy that the Vice President came and was prompt in coming too. The government gave the bereaved family, the 16 that lost their lives, 160,000, 10,000 each, and then those who survived and are still at the hospital, 5,000 each, and that made 40,000. In all, government gave 200,000 to the bereaved family.
I see. And these monies are supposed to do what?
Yeah, when they will use some to take care of themselves, especially those who survived it. They are still attending to medical care, so they will need money to take care of themselves. And then those who also lost their lives, so there will be funerals. These are various families who want to bury their dead, and they have to go through a lot of things. They have to buy coffins and other things. So government has to help them with these monies. Yeah, and that's why they're going to use the money for the funerals and other things that they will need, to bury their members.
Now, John, we've had an interaction with the Maritime Authority CEO, who has indicated that a lot of the accidents are, linked to overloading of the boat. I'm sure you've been in the region for many years. You have your children who have grown also in the region. Can you, briefly let us understand why there are rules guiding the use of the river in terms of boarding a boat, and yet your people still continue to do overloading, and it's okay until there is a disaster?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. The actual thing is that these disasters are not, happening at one place. Like I said the other time, the Volta Lake has so many islands on it. We have various islands at Karachi, various islands at Karachi East, Biakuye, and so on and so forth. There are serious islands on the Volta Lake. And these people have their boats, on the islands. And they use boats to school. They use boats to funerals. They use boats to churches. They use boats for everything. Yeah. So the usage of boats is a day-to-day thing on those who stay on the island. Unfortunately for us, we have educated them so much that, they get also the life jackets. But apparently they don't use it. You'll be surprised that after you have even given a life jacket to someone, he just joins even a boat without using it. For what reason they don't want to use it, nobody knows. It is very important for us. And so we have started educating the people on the use of islands.
My question,
and so
my question is not people refusing to use the life jackets. My question is why they are allowed to use the river, sit in boats, when they refuse to go by the rules of the game.
Yeah, the issue, that's what I've said. They are on islands, and the manpower that works on the lake is very small. How many military authority people do you have on the Volta Lake? How many naval officers do we have on the Volta Lake? How many NADMO workers do you have on there? Very small numbers. And these islands are huge, big, so many of it. Talking about 120 to 130 islands, on the Volta Lake, T alone. So it is not like, we are not enforcing it. We are enforcing it. But, the manpower who will do the enforcement is very, very, very small. Notwithstanding that, anytime we get opportunity, we educate them on the usage of the life jackets. It is unfortunate.
Now, John, for the longest of time, we have educated the people about the use of life jackets. We've given reasons like there are tree stumps in the river. Almost all the time, we know that there are tree stumps in the river. We know that there are a lot of islands in the Volta region, and so the community to community are always using boats, to travel from one point to the other. But that means that low manpower cannot be a reason and an excuse to continue allowing people or lives lost almost all the time. It means that leadership isn't working and isn't thinking of innovative ways of, people using the river. If there are people with boats, have we gone through the processes, for example, licensing people with boats to, guide those who will use the river, so that if you know that you are going to use your boats, you are, tied to some rules that if you don't do this and do that and do that, this might happen, so that boat users or boat owners will know exactly what to do. In this accident, I don't know if the boat owner himself died.
No, thank you very much for what you are saying. But that's what I said. They know. The maritime officers have been there. We have educated them. They know that the boat should not be loaded after a certain mark. They know the number of people that each boat should take. But unfortunately, like I'm saying, you need people to continue to enforce the laws, when these things happen. You need it. You need people to educate them as much as we educate them. If they don't want, if there's nobody to enforce the law there, it becomes a problem for us.
If there's
And that's why we are saying
if there's nobody to enforce the laws, then we are sorry, but we probably will have to keep people in their small villages, well, without allowing them to cross the rivers. Is that what we want to do? Because we cannot say that because people have to move, must people move to go and die, which are accidents that are obviously avoidable.
Yes, you see, like you have said, it is true. But like I'm saying now, the agencies have taken a decision to find, and employ people at all the islands and to enforce the rules, before they join their boats to anywhere they are going. And for me, it is the force, the workforce that it should be increased. And it's when we increase it and they are all over the place, then these things will be done. Then the other suggestion that I'm also bringing aboard is that the water lake transport should find a way of constructing boats themselves and labeling it for the water lake transport, so that these laws and regulations can be effective. Once they have their own boats and they are carrying people from island to island, island to marketplaces, I think that they will have a lot of power to let them know there are regulations before they even join the boats. But if these boats are built by themselves and stay long on the island, and it's difficult to leave the island, and by all means they have to use their boat, then at times anything goes. The boat that capsized was supposed to transport only 10 people. But at the end of the day, they loaded 24 people. There's nobody there even to check, even though they know that the maritime authority have given them a mark where they should load up to. But they didn't do it. They didn't comply with it. And that caused the accident. And we lost 16 people out of the 24. Yeah.
So the suggestion,
it's unfortunate.
The suggestion you're giving us that the water lake transport should undertake. You are the regional minister. Is this something that you're going to be considering? A lot of people are giving very beautiful and brilliant suggestions. I mean, you are the commander-in-chief in the region now, so you have to take charge.
Yeah, we'll take charge. We'll take serious charge about it, because this is where we come from, and this thing has been with us for a very long time. We should find a way of stopping it once and for all. And so we are going to collaborate with water lake transport and discuss it so that we'll get it to the Minister of Transport, who will understand that some of these things are that it's doable. In other countries, they have done it. It is very, very doable. And it will bring a lot of, what do you call it, even money. It will bring tourism to the area. A lot of people will come tour the area, want to know how many islands we have and what are on the areas. And then we'll also make money from it. And for that matter, the water lake transport will not run at a loss. Yeah.
Should we be worried that the Vice President's distribution of life boats is going to, life jackets are going to be useless?
No. Once we have started education, we'll continue from there, and it's not going to be useless. It is not at all.
I mean, convince me, because you're saying that they have life jackets, but they don't use it, which means you are not able to force them to use it.
It is because of the enforcement. It is because of enforcement. Now, like I'm saying, the District Assembly, the Maritime Authority, the NADMU, and the Transport Ministry has agreed to put task forces in all the entries to the water lake. And for that matter, before you be allowed to go and join a boat, whether it is yours or is for the water lake transport, you have to put on, the enforcement of the law will be very, very, important for us, and it will be done. Once they are going to put people at all the entries and on the islands, I think they will have to put it on, and they will put it on. Yeah.
All right, Minister John Kwapong Japong, OT Regional Minister, I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. If you don't have any other thing to add, we can leave it here. All right. I thank you for your time this afternoon. You're still watching Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, after that breather, we have the new Patriotic Party that is gearing up for a crucial decision as delegates prepare to choose their presidential candidates for the 2028 election. So balloting was recently conducted and also determining the positions of the various contenders on the ballot paper. Today, we going to hear from the different camps. We've started already. I think last Monday. We're continuing today where the guests, most of them have joined us in the studio from various camps or some of the camps of the contenders. And we'll be talking more about what is going on, how the preparation is also happening before the election itself. We'll be back shortly.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go feel the luckiest. Go feel from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go feel be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
God Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it with a so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Need your attention, please.
Mnet Movies 4 brings you Action HQ.
Before I describe the job, I have to know you can do it.
The movie festival where action never clocks out.
1, 2, 3.
Go! Business as usual means fist first, questions later. We don't do spreadsheets. Some car keys, a couple guns. We do high speeds.
Put your foot to that floor and you burn.
Our management style, very hands-on. Water cooler chats, surprisingly inspirational.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
This October, Mnet Movies 4 is mission control for mayhem.
Complete destruction.
It's home base for heroics. It's Action HQ. Consider your couch the corner office of chaos. This is not a drill. Report to Action HQ all month long on Mnet Movies 4, where action never clocks out.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night, a night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th, a citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing but divine encounters, miracles, and transformation. On October 31st, meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power, and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isihine, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus, because Jesus is our victory.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It's good afternoon, Ghana. Let me just read this one, a quick message that I got during the interview from one of the senior men in the country, not in government, I beg you, but I name withheld. So he said I should stop disturbing the old man, but he said, I'm watching your quizzing, but unfortunately people died. You remember the Justice Jaisayo Committee? You remember that committee that was set up? It was in 2022. So I did the search on it quickly, and it says that the Justice Jaisayo Committee is a reference to the Justice Paul Jaisayo Committee, a 6-member panel set up in Ghana to investigate a boat disaster on the lake in August 2022. The committee was chaired by Mr. Justice Paul Jaisayo, supervising the High Court Judge at Ho. Now, that committee was set up. I don't even know if a report came out. I have to check. A report came out yet? I don't know. But nothing came out from the investigation. It says that the purpose was to investigate a boat disaster on the Volta Lake. And you know, almost every year we seem to be recording boat disasters, especially on the Volta Lake. And I'm sure it can be related to a myriad of reasons and activities that happens on the river. But let me, introduce my guests. I'm sure they may want to have a bite on this issue before we get into hardcore politics. I have Dr. Pargridge Boachidankwa with me, and he's national coordinator for the Oak for President. What is Oak?
Ohene Ejapon Kennedy.
Okay.
Very good afternoon to you,
Ohene
Annie.
Ejapon Kennedy.
Yes.
Why are you confusing us? I had to ask, what is Oak?
Oh, no, that's his name. It's
because
Kennedy
I was trying to use the
Ohene
acronym, and I realized the acronym was not, matching, we always usually will call him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Walking backwards.
So, yeah.
It's
don't start. Don't
That's an acronym.
Don't start. It's just an acronym. You can mix it and change it anyhow you want
mix
it.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ohene Ejapon Kennedy for president. All right. Pius Enam Hajide is also from the camp of Brian Acheampong. He's a spokesperson actually for Brian Acheampong. You're welcome as well.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Right. Also, my own friend, Dr. Ikia Amwako, is here. She is deputy spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. Ikia, you're welcome.
Thank you, Annie.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Good afternoon to all our usual viewers. I was just telling your crew that I'm a veteran here.
Yeah. Oh, of course. That's why I said my friend. I mean, I can't run away from it. Everybody knows. So, but we won't be biased on the show. I can promise you that. We won't be biased.
I'm sure everybody is aware of that.
Yeah,
probably hardest on me.
Yes. Anyway, but Enam, please, I'll let you, give us a word or two about this boat accident that we discussed, because you come from the region. I'm sure you can tell us.
I come from very close to the region. I come from the Volta and the Eastern region, so the OT region is a neighboring region. And on behalf of Dr. Brian Acheampong, please allow me to extend our condolences to the bereaved families. This is a sad moment, and I feel that we should move away from the long talks and speeches where politicians shed crocodile tears seize the moment to campaign in the name of offering support to bereaved families, and that we should move into concrete and decisive action to prevent the further and future occurrences of this nature. You're very right in stating that this is not the first time. The minister you spoke to appears as confused as I am, and he was giving us a litany of questions and complaints, but I thought that leadership was about solutions and not asking questions. And he was asking you, do you know the number of exit and entry points and so on? I'm here and I'm asking myself if it is Annie who is the regional minister or if it is Japon Kujo who is the regional minister. I think that our colleagues in the NDC should move away.
I'm not even trying to make it political or partisan, but you know, sometimes when you query leaders, you wonder if the job, you can do it better.
You're right. That's the sense I was getting. And if I was president, Mr. Japon Kujo would have been gone by now and would have found a more competent replacement. I mean, we should move away from the ceremonies. The vice president has come to donate life jackets, which he claims that the people have and are not using it anyways. And you come to add more. And the thing is showmanship. And the politicians who are gearing and lacing their boots to contest the primaries are seizing the moment to show their face and shed crocodile tears. But this is sad. One life lost is one too many. And I think that we should move away from the long speeches and get into concrete action, bold and decisive action. I think that the bigger picture for me is how we begin to focus on water transportation, be it sea or river. It is cheaper, and it is for on the customers, the commuters. It is cheaper on them, and on the government, our bills in terms of fuel, and then its associated pollution is drastically reduced. So I'm at a loss why we are focusing only on road transportation and probably air transportation, where water transportation it's more effective. It's actually even safer in many instances. It's actually even safer. But successive governments appear not to be focusing too much.
In fact, in communities where they patronize more water transportation than maybe road or air, it almost becomes like a hobby.
Yes.
Because you find them even, sometimes at the riverside swimming, playing. And so I start to ask, okay, the children, don't they know how to swim? Sometimes it's not just about knowing how to swim, but you see, when you know how to swim, it also saves you. I don't know how to swim. But it saves you it gives you a bit of some safety, So as a minister, I'm expecting that you can have a lot of innovations, like teaching people around the area where there are rivers how to swim. You can, create very interesting programs. If they are not actually learning how to swim, they should, because that is what they actually use. Innovations like, you say there are tree stumps in the water. It means that you should be indicating you have lived in the community. You know where the tree stumps are. In fact, there is a water transport. He's saying that there's water transport something.
There's a Volta Lake Transport Company, the VLTC.
They should be indicating where the tree stumps are, because a lot of the boat users are having the accidents around where the tree stumps are. So how is it that we know that there are tree stumps for many years?
I agree. And before my colleagues come in briefly, I just want to say that the current government should not shy away from continuing. There are a number of things that the previous administration did. One in the area of provision of boats, both to the Maritime Authority and to the Ghana Navy. We know that we are but a developing country, so there should be synergy. And some of the resources that the Navy has, some of the resources that the Maritime Authority has, can be deployed to be able to monitor our river bodies, especially as we know that they can be used, and they are being used for transportation purposes. And then there's another bold step under the One District, One Factory. A company was actually established in my constituency in Esojaman that was focused on harvesting the stumps in the river. Mm-hmm. And that's expensive wood. for furniture, exquisite furniture, very, very expensive.
Oh, there's stamps in the river?
Yes, they are harvested and they are processed for sale. Sometimes
What was the name of the?
It's the Ketekrachi Timber Limited. Okay. And it's
still functioning?
I understand the last time I visited that after the exit of the previous administration, they have been facing some challenges because they came under the One District, One Factory.
Okay.
And I think that companies like that should rather be supported to go and remove the stamps, whilst at the same time money is made. Because the stamps are in the river and are causing accidents. And it is somebody's business now to remove those stamps and commercialize the process. And so government should continue to support such interventions, and in the future, these accidents can be prevented as a consequence.
Let me allow your colleagues to also come. Ikia.
I think Pius has said a lot because it's closer to his constituency and whatnot. Listening to the minister again, I think I agree with him wholeheartedly, but that when you hear from leaders like that, you expect to hear more solutions and not excuses, because it looked like it was just making one excuse after the other. And I think we've spoken about quite a lot of things that could be done to improve the situation around this table. And I think the first and probably the simplest thing that could be done is education. There are life jackets there, and you are aware that the people do not like wearing it. Shouldn't the first thing be to educate them on why it is important to wear these life jackets? We can imagine that if some of these 16 people simply had that protective tool on them, they would have been able to float in the water probably long enough to be saved. And I'm hoping that we don't continue this cycle. This matter will soon die down, and another incident will recur before it comes up and we talk about it again and it happens again. So I'm hoping that we're able to finally break that cycle and bring some lasting relief to the people that live in that area.
Look.
Yes, Annie, let me send this from the camp of Kennedy Japan to the good people of Oti region, and to state that this is extremely sad and very unfortunate. My thinking would have ordinarily been that if there were ways we could avert these issues, we should continually have a government that is thinking of preventing incidents like this from happening, because the Ghanaian people are important. It's unfortunate, but we want leaders who would be there to serve, who would be there to protect the lives of the citizens. I am continually getting worried because we have a national security that must always be doing risk assessment and threat assessment. We have a national security that must always be gathering intelligence. But as it is, it appears as though we don't have that national security doing its requisite work that is mandated by them. And as I look at the positioning of the president, even on the threats of illegal mining and the fact that he continually states that he's waiting for national security to advise him, and I continually ask myself, isn't national security aware?
I don't think that's what he wanted
well,
to
that's
put
what he
across.
said.
No.
I mean,
the national security continuously serves him with
He
updates.
said that
by the
he's
minute, by the
waiting.
day,
He said he's waiting for an advice from the national security. I heard it very clearly.
No, but
he said he's
what the
waiting
point I'm
for the
making is
advice
that
from
the
the
point I'm
national
making is
security
that
to call
I think we
on the state of emergency.
Yeah, I think we asked a specific question on state of emergency. Of course, he will have to wait for the national security to brief him.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying I am aware, and all of us have been in government before. I'm aware is that national security continually is aware of the threat of Galamsey to the livelihood of the Ghanaian people. As we speak, water plants in Central Region has been closed down. Schools like Adisado College, National, Agri Memorial, Augustine's, Infansipim, Infansiman, Holy Child, Wesley Girls, these young people are carrying buckets of water on their head.
And they are grade A schools.
Well, I mean, yeah, I call that.
Because the minister says he wants to add some more grade A.
I mean, I've questioned that because I've stated that that's a lot of intellectual stigmatization. We cannot stigmatize our schools and begin to grade it. A school is a school, regardless of what it is. Yes. I mean,
Which one is not always fair?
I mean, you cannot.
First of all, which is your school? Okay.
You can assume that obviously they would have a different kind of gradings. It happens all around the world.
Of course, I understand it happens
there's
all
an
around.
Ivy League class.
It happens all around the world.
others.
But the goal, really, for a developing country like ours.
So what I'm looking at,
schools
what
that
I'm
are
looking
great
at
and good.
is
Standard schools.
resources. You see, grade A schools becomes grade A schools because of what they have, their standards. They have
That's
set.
what they made us believe. believe.
But if grade A schools are carrying buckets of water on their heads,
then the C.
What
Yes,
then how are you creating more
because
grade
seed,
A schools?
it means that seed that don't even have balls.
Exactly.
You see, so we're in a very difficult situation as a country. I would want to ask the president that he should immediately, when he's back from China, from his International Global Women's Conference, and the vice president is back from Beijing, I mean, they should try and sit up. We don't have a minister for
He's not
defense.
at his International Global Women's
But
Conference.
he's attending the global.
Do you have women in your campaign team?
Oh, we do have a lot of women.
They
I was
actually
even wondering
don't.
why. I was
That's a
actually
very,
wondering.
very interesting
I
question.
was wondering why the
I think
vice
that's a
president
very
didn't lead the
interesting
government
question.
delegation. I was expecting the vice president of the country to lead the government delegation to Beijing.
That's fair.
You recall
That's
how
fair.
these conversations have
That's
been.
fair. But when we
Yes.
see men also interested, we like it.
Oh no, of course. But I thought that this would be a very good, iconic moment for the country.
That
You
because
understand?
our vice
that we have
president,
a first
you
female
have a
vice
fair-
president.
right.
I think that we missed that opportunity. When I saw it, I was traumatized.
Oh.
Yeah, of course, I didn't expect that the vice president would be all the way in Belgium when President John Dramani Mahama is in Beijing. I expected him to sit back, send the vice president to be the leader of government. But anyway,
But
he missed that
anything,
opportunity.
anything could have happened. Maybe
Oh,
the
well,
vice
of
president
course.
was somewhere.
No, he was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's in Belgium as I speak to you. You understand? Then we have a speaker who is now leader of government. You know, things are not going well.
think
I'm
the
not
speaker is
happy.
in
I'm not
Kumasi.
pleased.
Anyway, let's now look at the things that are not going well in your campaign. So we've done. We started having a conversation last Monday. We've done the balloting. We've seen a lot of things being bandied about so far, but I think so far we have been able to tolerate a few things that has come up. One question I've always wanted to ask, especially, is with the Kennedy Japan team and the Baumia team. Just yesterday, I saw analysis of someone, I won't mention his name, and I thought it was a very brilliant analysis. The person was talking about how you are trading insults amongst yourselves, and how one is calling one crazy, one is calling one sick, one is calling whatever, and you are comfortable with that. It's not your opponents from other political parties that are doing that. You are doing it yourselves. Tell me why you think you are good enough a material for me to vote for. Should you get there? I'll start with you.
Yes, so Annie, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and let me begin from what has been happening in the camp. We have been very displeased with some actions from the other camp, and you're aware of that, the insults that they've traded continually on our candidates. But I'll state this. On the 12th of September to the 17th of September, the National Party decided to put together some guidelines that will guide all of us in our discourse of the campaigning period. And they laid 24 guidelines in place. And then afterwards, they set up the Engineer Dr. Abiesi Committee to be able to deal with people who front on those guidelines. I have not seen any person being arranged before the Engineer Dr. Abiesi Committee. That is very troubling. And so our camp had to release statements from our communications director to call the party in line, because we have one party, we have one image, we need to protect the integrity of the party. Dr. Ika is my younger sister, she's my friend. We believe in the ethos of the party. And so when we find people who are proponents in another camp, okay, doing such things, it's very alien for us, and especially when we realize that the leadership of the team is not cracking such whips. And so we hope and pray. The campaign is ongoing. We've gone on to our second phase of the nationwide campaign.
But you're expecting that a leader will crack whips when also some members from your camp decided to retaliate.
I haven't observed that.
I have.
Okay, I haven't observed that. And in our camp, if we see any of those things, we crack the whip almost immediately. Okay, we crack the whip almost immediately.
When you see them, you
yes,
crack?
almost immediately, if we do see that.
Can you give me an
okay?
example?
No, I haven't seen that. You said you have. I haven't seen that. Okay, but let me also immediately just move away from those, because I'm sure that those issues have been resolved, and we don't want it to be happening within one particular family. But to commend the Electoral Commission for ensuring that we had a peaceful balloting process for us as a new patriotic party. We were pleased with how they did the balloting. They first did the balloting through the manner in which the people filed their nominations. And then afterwards, we were able to pick our ballots. We are glad that we are number one on the ballot. It was a smooth transfer process for everyone to be able to see that it was a credible process. And we wish and pray that that process will be credible as well on the 31st of January 2026 when we do the voting, when the delegates vote and vote for Kennedy Agyapong to become the next flag bearer of the party.
Let me have you respond to this before I move from you. So your camp releases what do you call it? Letterhead, and it says that subject is appoint of campaign administrators. You appointed Charles Cromwell, Nana Benyi, Unya Wontoso,
Bisu.
A brother you cannot buy.
That's
the literal translation. Yes.
Okay. Immediately. So you say that in his capacity, he will provide overall coordinating and strategic oversight, campaign operations, to ensure that all activities across the directorates and teams are well structured, efficiently executed, and aligned with our objectives. His responsibilities is overseeing the campaign administration and ensure effective communication among all directorates of operational teams, managing all official correspondence and documents on behalf of the campaign, receiving, reviewing, and processing reports, briefing the submission intended for my attention, guiding a flow of information, and ensuring timely decision-making within the campaign structure. So this communication thing we're talking about, Charles Bisu is going to ensure all that.
Yes, so let me immediately congratulate my big brother, the Honorable Charles Onuawonto Bisu, for this appointment. Our campaign is very structured of making sure that before communications come out, communications between the National Party and our campaign, all of those correspondences would go through the campaign administrator. And this decision has been made by the leader of the campaign, which is Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And we congratulate him as such. It's a very well-structured campaign. We make sure that the real things are done because we are the government in waiting after John Dramani Mahama.
Okay. Doc. I should keep you for last.
You have to. But...
No, but in the end, I wanted to neutralize it. That's why I wanted to give you for last. So that if you come in, it neutralizes.
Because Annie, that I'll have to respond to whatever
you get back. I'll give you.
But I can also respond to everyone.
I think it's fair to you.
That's fair to me, Pius. You're being mischievous.
Don't worry, you speak.
That's fine. So am I to respond to the same question?
The same question, yes.
Yeah, so I think we've always maintained the need for...
when we saw the video, it was crazy.
Which of the videos?
The one that, attacked Kennedy directly.
Yeah.
Koda. It was Koda's video.
I've seen...
Koka or something. Koka.
Yes, I've seen.
I don't think we should name names here because if we were to if we were to name names here, I see some videos and communication coming out of supporters of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong camp that also give me almost a heart attack. They have a gentleman on TikTok, Mr. Alex Tete. Honestly, you have to call him to order. His is constant. I think he makes a video every day. He's even gone as far as to accuse all of us, the women on the bus, of being, I don't know if he's talking about concubines or mistresses. It's nasty the level at which he decides to go sometimes. There are other females. I didn't want us to go into naming names, but I also don't want us to create the impression that behavior is coming from one side. In fact, I think it is more of a retaliation that we are seeing. But we always call our team to order that we want to have a clean campaign. The truth is, if you look at the flag bearership of the party, I don't like to use this word, but we are the immediate past. We are sort of the arrowhead. That's why I wanted to speak last. A lot of the pressure comes directly at His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because he's obviously the one to beat. So it's been very important for us to maintain that clean image.
Allow her.
Of course, and I have not spoken.
It has been very important to us to maintain
but
that.
I can hear you so loudly.
It's been very important to us to maintain that clean image because, as you were saying, the Ghanaian people are watching us, and it usually is not nice when they see us going back and forth at each other. In fact, it's something I've noticed. Sometimes we have the banter on social media, and what people don't realize is sometimes the people that are bantering, we are fine. We see each other the next day, and we are the best of friends. I think I saw Kobi Amwa not too long ago, and we got on fine. But he will say something, and out of emotions or whatever, there will be a response, and you can see the comments. Like the party people are not happy when we come at each other, and so it has always been the modus operandi of our campaign to stay out of such things. But we also have to bear in mind that it's a huge campaign. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign is a huge campaign, and it's a lot of people do not take instructions from the center before doing certain things. I hear people saying, call this one to order, call this one to order. It's not as if they wait for instructions or they are all taking instructions from someone. They all just believe in the vision of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So they go out on their own to do certain things. But I can assure you that there's been a reinforcement of the fact that we need to run a clean campaign so that we do not bring the image of the party itself into disrepute. I don't know if you saw our press release yesterday. Majority of the wording of that press release was to reinforce that to our supporters, that we are, no matter what is thrown at us, we are to maintain the decorum that Ghanaians expect of us.
If you have that press release, you can forward to me.
I'll send it to you.
Normally, I get press releases from all the camps except for your camp.
Oh, I will rectify that quickly.
And if you're there, I don't see the reason why I should be lacking press releases from your
Don't worry, I mean, now it's noted.
And they are supposed to have a huge campaign.
A huge campaign for that matter. Yes. You have not been engaging in trading of any attacks, though.
No, they have.
The Brian Achampong.
You see, several reasons have been cited for our recent near abysmal performance. Unprecedented and annihilation. 1.7 million difference in 7 regions. His Excellency, the former Vice President and former flag bearer, could not win one constituency in 7 regions. In Western region, one of our strong regions, we won 1. His Excellency Dr. Bawumia won 1. In the Central region, he won 2. In Greater Accra, of 34 constituencies, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia won 2. One of the critical reasons has been the issue that you have just raised. The infighting, the factionalism, the trading of insults, and our ability to close ranks after the internal contest. You remember the showdown scenario? Mm-hmm. You remember when we started engaging in the thank you tour? The 2 camps in front of me, the camps you rightly referred to, we couldn't, even after the defeat, could not humble us to unite. And on the thank you tour, I don't want to remind viewers and all of us of what we saw.
Yeah, but we
and
saw
that's the danger.
There were clashes.
That's the danger. That is one of the major causes. And that's why Dr. Brian Achampong is strategically positioned as the unifier. Because we can come and sit on TV and pretend all we want and say all the flowery things and so on. But when the chips go down, the question that many are asking is that when Honorable Kennedy wins, and the videos that you saw, and you said you were horrified, you were terrified, those were your words, are those people able to come on board and assist in the execution of a successful campaign? We have had situations where the former vice president, former flag bearer, has accused individuals of being responsible for their loss. On the thank you tour, the former vice president said that, oh, the NDC were playing voices and videos and audios of persons, and that accounted for our loss. We all know who he was making reference to. And that was what forced Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, for instance, to retort in a manner. You remember the comment about when we rich people are talking, even the poor people are talking, why can't we, the rich people, also speak on a public platform? That was a reaction to the allegations, right in his presence and to his face. So we cannot come on national TV and pretend that there are not challenges in terms of unifying the party. And that's why last week, when you spoke to me, I suggested to you that God is speaking to us in the party, even the position number 2. By the way, number 2 has been winning the elections in the primaries.
When I saw the number 2, I knew you were going to.
His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was number 2. He won. Yeah. The last time, Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapong was number 1 and lost. And so we are hoping that history will repeat itself. We are hoping that history will repeat itself. Mahama is not a member of the NPP.
Okay, so you are looking with him.
So in the NPP, the way we do our things and the things that happen are completely different. And so we are very, very hopeful. But beyond the winning position, I think that indication that I'm getting is that God is putting Dr. Brian Acheampong between Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapong, suggesting that this is the Joshua that can rally the ranks of our party and move us towards.
Yeah, but there's Kwabena Ejapong. There's
No, but you know, you didn't suggest in your introductory, the preliminary comments you made, the challenge that you had, you didn't extend it to Kwabena Ejapong and Dr. Edu Chum.
Yeah, because they've not been engaged in the vitriolic
Exactly the point.
exchanges.
And again, you know, elections are normally two-horse races. And Dr. Brian Acheampong entered into the fray not too long ago. 4 months ago was when he declared his intention to contest. But today, it is a three-way race. It tells you what an organized, respectful, united campaign can do. And if Dr. Bawumia can move, Dr. Brian Acheampong can move to outplace some of the previous candidates, and today it is reported that he is neck to neck with the front runner within 4 months, then he should tell you what he can do in 3 years when we elect him as flag bearer. Every nook and cranny Dr. Brian Acheampong will be able to visit, and he's highly marketable, and he will be sold easily to the good people
But you
of our
have
country.
complained that Dr. Bawumia has, enjoyed a lot of incumbency advantage, and so he had the opportunity and the resources to move across the country. I think same cannot be said about the Brian Acheampong campaign team.
No, I think that is a story of marketing. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who is a godfather of mine, is a mentor. I like his ways. But I think that diminishing returns are certain. See, he has helped the party. He served his due. He's paid his dues and served his party. He's been flag bearer. He's been running mate for 2 terms, and he's been vice president for another 2 terms. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has been at the fore of our politics, the very front of our politics for the last 16 years. He has seen it all. The last time he was our flag bearer. You see, that is how life works. You climb, you plateau, and then you come down. And I believe that at this point, Dr. Bawumia has plateaued. And so you should leave the stage when the applause is highest. The insistence from Dr. Ekuya and Co. to keep pushing my mentor and godfather on and on and on will then make him come down, which for me should not be what we should be wanting for a doyen like Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. I think he's paid his dues and served his party well. But the fact is that under the circumstances, and we can get to the circumstances in due course, Dr. Bawumia has not become the most strategic choice that the NPP can make. People are in the party who have promised, and he said, the last time he said, me free party, no but but I'm saying that, you see, when you have gotten to that stage, it is no longer about prayer that, okay, I'll become flag bearer and I'll pray that people don't do what they have said that they will do. Because it is about the destiny, the future of the party, and about the country. So if people are pulling you down and they're making it difficult for you, you have to admit that in the NPP, we have the men. We have prided ourselves as having the men. There is Dr. Edu Chum, there is Kwabena Ejapong, and of course there is Dr. Brian Acheampong himself. So if it is difficult for you, you can honorably step aside, because you should have confidence in the others who can quickly step into your stead and do the same thing. Because if the NPP wins, Dr. Bawumia himself will be fine. Kennedy Ejapong will be fine. The NPP people will be fine, and Ghana generally will be fine. But if we insist that it has to be one of the two, when they are in your own ways, they are the warring factions and they are each other's necks, and we are insisting that it should necessarily be one of them, we are imperiling not just their own victory.
When you say you'll be fine, what do you mean? Are you quoting what Dr. Bawumia said some days ago, that when the NPP came into power, some of you made a lot of money? If not the NPP coming into power, those people couldn't have made money. Is that what you're referring to? Are you quoting the same thing?
No, but I think that was a regrettable comment from the former vice president, the number 2 man, and to think that the vice president will actually even think that people go into government to make money, to even.
That was a sharp contradiction to what Nana Addo had said earlier.
But I'm saying that
you can't make money.
Really and truly, Doc, I was scandalized when I heard the comment that the thought would even be entertained in the mind of the number 2 man that people went into government to make money. I really and truly do not believe that he was speaking in reference to my candidate. Would have responded already. But the fact of the matter is that if I speak about my candidate has promised that he made his money, he will continue to make his money in the private sector by transforming rich ideas through bold decisions into tangible. No, this is a man who never even received a salary as a minister of state.
How?
He never did. He never received money.
Then he has to be investigated. How
Why?
Did he survive
He makes money. I mean, he makes money. He has businesses. Look at the philanthropy that the man does.
That's not a good excuse.
It is.
It's not.
And no, it is. Look,
your style audits. But Annie, I think, did you see that video?
Sorry, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, he didn't. He did not even drive a government vehicle.
So hold on. He worked for government how long?
As a minister of state from 2017 through the various ministries that he served.
That he served?
Yes, he never received.
For 8 years?
Yes, he never received a minister's salary.
So hold on. Is it that he received that salary and used it for something else?
He did not. If you go to the Controller and Accountant General's department, you will find out that as minister, Dr. Abraham Achampo did not receive a dime. He did not even drive a government vehicle. Because he wanted that money put to other use.
I don't know. I understand that a lot of ministers actually don't even waste their time on government vehicles. But no,
many of our colleagues, the vice president drove government vehicles all throughout.
No, I'm just saying that many of even the current ministers, most of them drive their own personal cars.
No, I don't know that. But I'm reporting what I know.
I know that because they come here for shows. So you see that they all drive their personal cars sometimes. But when it comes to salary, I want it clear.
Yes,
for 8 years.
I am putting it on the record that Dr. Brian Achampon, as minister, never took salary. He donated it back to chest. We need to fix the roads. We need to fix our schools, nursing mothers, and so on. So this is somebody who sees public service as what it is, public service, not to come and make money.
He volunteered.
Yes, he did not receive. Okay, that's leadership.
For Ghanaians.
That's leadership.
And never took a cedi, a dime.
As a minister of state.
From our coffers.
As a minister of state. He never did.
Okay, but he took the money as what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You said as minister of state.
Yes.
Okay, so as what did he take money?
I don't know.
Did he take money as maybe getting contracts from, I don't know, administration, from government, somewhere, I don't know.
I don't know where he's a businessman. He has businesses.
So he was making money only from private sector.
You know his brand, the Rock City brand, Africa's most ambitious hospitality program. In Ghana, he owns the biggest software development house, the Into IT. His construction company, Roho Construction, you count the top 3 construction companies in this country. But he has 13 businesses. The 3 flagship ones is what everybody knows about. But I'm saying that this is somebody who sees public service as what it is, public service. But for a vice president, the number 2 man, to then suggest that under his watch, people got into government to make money.
So this is why I wanted to come in, because you have that video. Have you seen that for a fact that His Excellency, the former vice president, said that?
Said what?
What you are quoting?
Yes.
You have the video?
Yes.
Can we see it?
He said it in a can.
Can we see it?
You want it played?
Yeah, because we've disputed that. I don't think, we've had a conversation before, and then I spoke to you about the language barrier. I don't see anywhere that His Excellency would have said that. So yes, indeed, I would want to see that, because we did come out to debunk.
Okay, producers, if you can make that
ready. A quote card was made on that, and then we had to come out to debunk that he said that. Again, sometimes a lot of what he means to say gets lost in translation when he's speaking in Twi. But so I can assure you that it was probably taken out of context, but I haven't seen that video.
I want to believe you've had a discussion about that issue in your...
No, we had to come and dispute it, because it's definitely not what he meant to say.
Did you see the video?
No, I haven't seen that video. No, I just saw a quote card of that, and I was like, where is this coming from?
Okay, you saw
a quote card.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a quote card.
And producers, please help me. Let's have that video, so that if we can get, I want to give him benefits of the doubt.
Yes, I can assure you that the meaning
I think you shouldn't insist.
No.
I've seen the video. I think you shouldn't insist. It's embarrassing.
How is it embarrassing?
I think that we can admit that probably Doctor is constrained by the language.
Yes,
so like me.
He has a language,
and I struggle
that's
to
why
speak
I'm
to
giving him.
So let's agree
so I can tell you for a matter of fact,
but if you insist, it can be embarrassing.
From his messaging to the delegates, it's something that we've all worked on together. It's not a part of it, so it was probably taken out of context. Okay. Yes, with all the some of the troubles that we have with the language barrier. So I can assure you, Pius, the former vice president did not mean to say that people came into government to make money.
Well, that's better.
And whatnot.
That's better.
Yeah, so I can assure you that.
An apology would work it, but to say that.
No, I mean after here, I would look at the video and then come back to you. But I can assure you that no, that was not the intention of what he wanted to communicate at all.
Okay. Well, you can't say that yet because you haven't seen the video.
No, but at which of the engagements is it?
I think it was on one of the campaign. I honestly can't tell where.
Yeah, but I'm sure it was one of our pre-tour engagements. Okay. Yes, and I'm pretty sure of what the messaging is for every stop. And I know that it was not the intention. I think I have a rough idea of what he was trying to say that might have looked at. But as I'm saying, offset, I would look at the video and then revert. I'm sure we can have a short discussion about it moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can assure you that that was not what he meant to say.
Okay. Okay. You're quite looking at us, but maybe
I'm watching what's happening between.
Yeah, maybe you made money because you are the ones talking
Brady
about.
Champo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm wondering what's happening between them.
Getting into the frame.
You know?
The unifier.
No. I'm wondering. The frame you discussed was about threats, intimidation, insults.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, in politics, we are free to disagree, but we have to do that.
Well, I think that
and so on.
I think that for us, we have always stated that public service is service to the Ghanaian people. And if you have been minded to follow Kennedy from 1990 till date, he's been a gentleman that has created more jobs than any of the politicians that we see ordinarily. He's been a gentleman that has been a vocal voice, consistently fighting for the plight of the very underprivileged and almost maligned people that would work for the party, serve the party, and have the party come into power. He's been a person that has always had the heart of Ghana on his heart and his chest and in his hands. And if you look at the jobs that he's created, the level of support that he's giving to the party, especially during the opposition days, because to tell of a true friend is to tell of a friend when you're in need. And there's been very difficult stages of the party during Professor Dubois-Hines' time, very difficult stages of the party during flag bearer John Agyekum Kufuor's time. And I'll tell you something, Annie. When President flag bearer John Agyekum Kufuor was flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, he came to the United States of America in 1997. I was a young boy with my parents in New Jersey at the time, and that was the time when President Clinton was president of the U.S. And flag bearer Kufuor told us that we should come and vote in the 2000 election. And at the time, you recall, many Ghanaians had gone into exile. And one of the things that he said he was going to do was to set up the Reconciliation Commission. And that brought a lot of healing to this country. I mean, because earlier on from the 80s and the 70s, AFRC, PNDC era, I mean, Kennedy has been consistent, served President Kufuor very well, served Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo very well, and he's been one that we believe that his hands are there for people to see. His hands has been one of the persons that has created all these jobs that we see across board, built the biggest steel factory on the sub-region of West Africa. Multi. Absolutely.
Sorry. You finish. Finish.
Want to hear what I said?
No, I said you finish your
submission.
No,
it's just that the last time we engaged, there was some controversy around the steel factory.
Is it operational?
But we can do that. Don't
worry, you finish.
What's the controversy around the steel factory?
You finish.
It's a steel factory that has been built at a cost of $100 million.
Is it in operation?
Not fully. Not fully operational.
But how is it?
It's partly operational.
What's the state?
I beg your pardon?
It's partly operational.
It's partly operational.
Okay.
You can come and have a look.
When you say it's partly operational, what exactly are they doing now?
Gridco must be able to bring a substation there. Gridco has not got the capacity, so the candidate has to provide his own substation. And yeah, absolutely, you can go into the merit of the issue.
It's not as simple as that.
Of course, it's not as simple as that, but that's what they've stated. You understand? So I mean, you see, I don't want to. I'm here really to be able to champion the cause of my candidate. Okay. If we want to have a debate amongst ourselves, I'm not sure that any of the candidates that are here, I'm not sure. I mean, to be honest, let's be fair with ourselves. And so I don't want to go into it.
They don't match up.
No, I'm not saying they don't match up. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just trying to say is that by the end of this program, right, everyone must be more united than we have ever been. because that's the cost of it. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but it's also
So,
a platform for you to
absolutely.
sell yourself.
That's why
I mean,
I'm
selling
my
yourself
candidate.
is not
Yes.
necessarily
No,
turning or putting someone down.
Of course. I mean, that's why I'm wanting to sell my candidate. I'm selling my candidate. People should not heckle me. You understand? Because look at the backyard of other people. Their ideas have not transformed into anything. And we look at the backyard of people who have ideas, and those ideas have transformed into things. Ideas that have created jobs. So we are talking about those jobs. I mean, we need to be able to say it sustainably. And that's what it is. For a 24-year member of parliament, 6-term member of parliament, served through the ranks, served on various committees of parliament. If you are minded to know, the Cybersecurity Authority came into being at a time when Minister Ursula Ekofo was Minister for Communication, when Kennedy was the chair of the Communication Committee in Parliament. Okay, when President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo wanted to do a referendum on the 19th of December 2019 to take local governance to the base, to allow people to be able to vote their own, Kennedy was the committee chair for local government. So, and if you look at the national security architecture that was put together in terms of the strategy, Kennedy was the chair of the Defense Committee. So we have the experience. He's had these experiences from Parliament as a member of the legislative arm of government, which is part of the value chain of governance. And if we are selling this individual, and we believe that this individual is the one that is supposed to transform Ghana. Look, 500,000 young people coming to the labor market every single year. I teach at University of Professional Studies. This year, there are going to be more students that are going to be graduating. You are in the law school, Annie. You saw the graduation that was done and the calling of the people to the bar. The Minister of Health has told us that 76,000 of the nurses that are coming, the government cannot be able to absorb them. So we are thinking of a country where the country can be turned into a business country. A country can be turned into an entrepreneurial country. The country can be able to employ people sustainably, where government creates an enabling environment for private sector to strive. And that's the purpose of government. And that's why we are pushing a very strong agenda for Kennedy, who's going to create more jobs, who's going to invest into agriculture and tie in agriculture to industry, who's going to decentralize all the ministries that we have. We have a lot of ministries headquartered in Accra that people always need to come from urban Ghana into Accra to be able to seek for jobs. We're going to decentralize all of these ministries and take it to the point of need where their services will be needed. And we're looking about those things. It's going to bring transformation to the country and great development. That's really what we need. We're going to take Ministry of Agric to the Northern Belt. We're going to take Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to Ashanti region. We're going to take Ministry of Education to Central region. We're going to take Ministry of Tourism to Volta region. I mean, Pius was talking about boat rights and all of those other things. Those are things that have happened in developed countries. Go to Netherlands and see. And so these are things that work. If you go to New York, you can go on the Hudson Sea. People have dinner on those seas. These are things that drive and bring in money. So we're looking about making Ghana the tourism hub, the agricultural hub, and making Ghana the business country. Benin is making a lot of money now. From what? Cotton and tourism. Benin is just our neighbor over here. We have been consistently doing a lot of work, government after government after government. It's now time to be able to invest into private sector and create that enabling environment for private sector to strive.
Dr. Baumia, Naminsa, Ekahupa, and my party, no, ebe winning election in 2016. Me bomoding, me ye juma, and my party, no, ebe winning ye. Nipa bebria, yeba by mo 8 years. Nipa mo bi, ebe nyesika, and yes, na ankayan winning election na, anka ubinyas azikano. Enti omonda masipa say me juma nti omotimi abe ye betimi a win election ena omotimi anya sika bebre na omomfa sika no omomfa mbepo wa party no na ye ntimi ndi kunim in 2028.
Okay, I was making a point before the video came in. I was just trying to talk about accountability of the various candidates that have come up. They all held offices, served government, and so issues that have been raised, I really don't want to go so much into the details, but if you really want to claim the goodies, then you are also ready to give us accountability of the offices you held. But Ekia, for the purposes of clarity, the video was played for us, so I'll give you the opportunity to.
So I think...
Is there something that you think that is not exactly what you wanted to say?
No, so again, what are we saying, what are we trying to dispute with what he said?
That party eba abaimu na ema ibimu enye sika. What does that mean?
Well, I think we cannot run away from that. I mean,
people made money because the party came into government.
You know, sometimes you have to situate some of these things in a context, right? We are in a context where some of the opponents have tried to make it about who has the most money. They've tried to make it about, I have the resources, I have money, these people don't have money, blah, blah, blah. And that has been even in their communication to the delegates. That's Wemo, Edidi Jamo, and Akamo, and those things. So I think it was in response to that kind of communication that was coming out of some of the other aspirants, telling them that, look, everybody in this government, just as you are saying, and I'm quite happy that we are coming towards the part of accountability, because we were all, one way or the other, involved in the government. One part, or some seem to have benefited by way of making use of themselves as business people and being politicians at the same time. So we know that there's been a sector that seems to have benefited largely from receiving government contracts. So you receive government contracts by being a member of the party, and not saying that there's anything wrong with that. You know, we have business people in our party who would from time to time be assigned contracts when we are in power. It's not something that is new. But for you to get that, and on the back of that, now want to come and tell the delegates that you sort of were not part of the government, and it was these people, Nedidi Jamo. I think that was in response to that kind of communication that had been given to the delegates, because there's an impression that is being created that it's only the people that surround the former vice president that were members of government, which we can all say is not true. In fact, on this table, I'm the only person who did not actually have a role in the previous administration. So it's not like, but that impression has been created. That's and so I think that was in respect to that, but not that people came into government to deliberately make money. No.
I mean, you're an Ashanti. I want to believe you want to put a spin on this video.
No, I'm not trying to put a spin on this video. I know my boss very well.
There's no ambiguity.
And now I understand what he was trying to respond to. And as I spoke to you, even before you played the video, I told you that sometimes there's a video comes out and the problem is the language barrier. There's a point where he's trying to...
No, he clearly said, Abai no amba,
and I've just explained to you.
Which necessarily means... we had to work for you to come and make money. So you can't be using your money to... But what we, as Ghanaian people, are interested in is, how do you mean? He is saying the minister was not even taking salaries. So if not for his private sector, he didn't make any money.
So I don't want to talk about that. The issue or anything that we'll respond to with regards to Honorable Pius and Honorable Brian would be how they drew the innocent killing of the Mampusis into the conflict. I haven't heard them go to talk to delegates and tell them that we mune didi inti.
Yeah, what did you mean by that?
No, he was saying how he has the ultimate capability to be the unifier because he has not thrown any shots. And I'm just reminding him that he brought in the Kusasi Mampusi matter, which was the innocent killing of people that I didn't think should have been brought in. But in this case, I don't think it was in response to him. It was in response to members of the party who are candidates now, who want to create the impression that they and their camp were sort of on the outs in the MPP government and so did not benefit. And so it is these people's, this camp's people that were in government and Didier Jamu. That was the reaction, or I'm sure it was a question from the crowd that he was reacting to, based on a conversation that had happened prior with another aspirant.
I mean, from Esojama, you still speak
I think that I want to be charitable to one of my godfathers and to my sister here. I think that let's settle the matter. Without a doubt, Dr. Bawumia misspoke. In fact, beyond even that money comment was that he worked hard for the party to win power.
Yeah.
Dr. Bawumia did not work hard.
Hey, really?
All of us worked hard. It was our collective effort. he cannot take credit for singularly for the victory of the 2016 elections. Because I was right there, because I was K8 to then candidate Akufo-Addo. I was right by Akufo-Addo's side when he said that the single biggest contributor financially to the efforts towards victory 2016 was Dr. Abraham Achampong. I was right by him. He gave gratitude to the party rank and file, to the nation. He singled out Dr. Abraham Achampong for being one of the single largest contributors to the successes of 2016. So I think that sometimes in the heat of the moment, we will misspeak from time to time. I'm a politician, I've been on platforms, and there would have been 1 or 2 slips. You cannot have a campaign and then not register 1 or 2 slips. I think that we can settle this matter.
You have a
I've
couple
slipped
of
a few
slips.
times, yes.
I bash you well.
I'm a mere mortal.
I'm a mere mortal. Response to what has been
I'm a mere mortal.
This is really a slip.
You remember the issue of the school children?
Yeah, but the school children visited me and I
didn't understand that issue. I still have an issue with you on that.
You have to update me on this matter.
I'll give you the background. Quick one second. I had visited the registration center. The students had come to register. They had been there since morning when I visited. I gave them breakfast because I had prepared breakfast and brought. I gave them breakfast. This was around 8 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, when I had come back to the registration center, they had still been there because there was a long queue. And they had complained to me that they were hungry. So I said to them that, look, I will go home and cook food for you. And so after the registration, they came by the house to eat. And that was all it was.
But you see, that communication within that period was not captured on camera. What Ghanaians saw was students in your house.
Yes.
No matter how you put it, it was not right.
Why not? I'm a very kind-hearted person. They came to my house to have lunch.
You see how your facial expression is? To understand
what is wrong, and quite frankly,
when they came to my
he was a member. He was a parliamentary candidate at that time.
Yes, he was a parliamentary candidate. You can't have students in.
Why
your
were
house.
they 2 or 3 or like a large group of students?
You know the reason why I think
there were about 100.
Oh, I mean,
they weren't
being an MP is difficult.
In fact, they were more than 100.
They were more than 100. The reason we even had an issue with was that they were female students.
All of them were female.
No, it's a
but you know
school.
he cannot be like.
No.
This one I have to side with. He couldn't have had any ulterior motive with 50 female
No, but
students.
you see, he may not have any ulterior motive, but because you have to avoid some of these controversies, it's not allowed.
But you know, in this matter, I think His Excellency was responding directly to one aspirant. So let's leave it as that. He was responding to something.
Dr. Bawumia,
yes, he was responding to something, and I've explained the circumstances under which he was responding, what he was responding to.
Okay, you heard the video.
Because job is difficult.
My job is not that difficult, quite frankly, because it's something I agree. You can't go around and want to paint yourself as I have money, I've done this, I've done this. If you listen to
how is I have money, how does it irk you so bad?
It doesn't irk anybody, Annie. It doesn't irk money. It doesn't irk anybody. But you have people like Paul Grave who
it does. You know why? Let me tell you why it does. You responded to it directly, and it wasn't you. It wasn't any of the communication members. It was Dr. Bawumia himself. He said, if you have money, we have the ideas, rich ideas. That's what he said. It was a direct response to the rich comment. And when it comes to Kennedy Agyapong, we've been dealing with his rich. In fact, we have headache from it.
Oh, and you know,
he keeps saying it.
You see, Annie, we're in a campaign period. So if one person says something and one person, you have to try and understand the nuances that are happening behind the scenes. We are all speaking to delegates, about 250,000 people. So if somebody goes there to say that me and my people, we are like when we're not part of the government, meaning they've chopped all the largesse of power without you. So now I am part of you, the grassroots, vote for me.
Annie,
when it is not true, don't you find that quite dangerous? When we can all prove, in fact, we can provide a long list of contracts that you have benefited from. Okay. So I think it was in that vein that His Excellency, the former Vice President, was responding.
My big brother Pius has already stated that one is plateauing. There's no need to drag an issue when it's already plateaued, okay? For us, it's very simple. Kennedy has been his own man since the 1990s when he brought up his head to be involved in public service. Everybody around the table is aware of that. During the days of the culture of silence, when Professor Dubois-Hine were struggling to wrestle power from the NDC, Kennedy was in the trenches with them. When Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was doing Kume Preku, Kennedy was in the trenches with them. When flag bearer John Agyekum Kufuor was fighting to come to become president, Kennedy was in the trenches with them.
Are you playing them? Are you playing them?
No. I'm giving a background. Okay, Annie, let me give a background. Because if one is saying that they were involved in campaigning for their party to win an election in 2016, for that reason, people benefited. What happened in 1992? What happened in 1996?
Okay, those
who
were involved from
exactly.
that time. Okay.
What happened in 2000?
We have settled this matter.
That's what I'm trying to say. You see, it's because
I'd like to respond to this jobs matter.
No, Minia Penny Pius, Eddie Jan to Ababetumenasi. Because whatever it is, this is our former vice president. Okay? We are giving dignity and honor to him in his last stages of retirement. And I think that is not a problem.
He has stages of retirement?
Oh, of course, yes. I mean, you see, when you finish serving, and you are leaving when the applause are louder, right? We say thank you to you. Yamau Ayuko for serving very well. You are aware that
but
President
there's a
Kufuor,
part of the Palgrave story that I want to contradict.
No, but allow me to.
Just giving notice.
Okay.
And I didn't have time to react to his
job. I'll give you the chance. Don't worry. I'll give you the chance.
When I was speaking,
I have some few more minutes.
When I was speaking, they're heckling.
And you have to ask for more.
I will.
You'll recall that I have some data here, right? That is reference to my sister Ikea when she made a comment on X. Okay, denigrating my candidate.
Oh, I think
that's what I'm trying to say. No, you see, that's what I'm trying to say. You see, that we are trying to make sure that
do that again.
Yes,
Okay.
that one it wasn't good.
No, I don't understand. If you want to put me on the spot here, I can put tweets of your people denigrating my boss.
But didn't you apologize for that statement?
I'm not even going to bring your apology here. I don't think the spokesperson or anybody from Team Ken should come and sit here and try to heckle me about something I've written on X, especially knowing the kinds of things your candidate is on record to have said.
You saying
and that matter has been put to rest.
Is that justifying your comment?
No, I'm just saying that if you are who comes to equity must come with clean hands. And that matter, it's an old issue, and I think it has been addressed on your show.
But it's still, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that statement seemed to have hurt their campaign
so much.
This is not the first time.
But you know, Annie, you need to see what I was responding to. You know what the interesting
you don't want
thing,
us to repeat it.
What the interesting thing
I'll send it to you.
What I was responding to has been conspicuous. I don't know what you mean by that. Then the kind of things your candidates have said must be really terrible. If you find this to be that irking.
No, but it's
because
okay.
in reference to the kinds of things he said, I don't think. I mean, it wasn't my finest moment. I would admit to that, but
it's okay. So we'll let it pass. That's what I'm trying to say.
So how did that come in here?
We let it pass.
Should we play a Efia Schwartz videos as well?
Oh no, I mean he was using it to make a point.
Which point was he making?
Allow me to make my point.
There are some videos I simply can't play.
I'm just saying.
On a
so if you want
platform.
to come and point out something that
look, my hands are clean.
A moment I'm proud of. Your candidates, you can end the show just playing his videos.
No, it's fine. It's okay. You see, we have a party to protect.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I am here to make sure that the party is unified going forward. Okay? Because the party that our forefathers
are you actually making sure that the party is
Of course,
unified?
that's my intention. Okay? The party that our forefathers fought for. Okay? That we have all been here trying to make sure that the party has a forward future. Annie, if you realize, in every generation, between 30 to 35 years, there's a rebirth of a generation. Between 30 to 35 years, there's a rebirth, okay? Between 30 to 35 years, there's a rebirth of every new generation. Where our party has gotten to, the party needs a rebirth.
But Dr. Bawumia is within our generation.
Oh, Annie, look, I'm not talking about...
I mean, so far, I don't think that...
I'm talking about the years of our party, okay? From 1992 till date. The party needs a rebirth and needs a new face with fresh energy, fresh ideas, fresh ideologies to make sure that the party is positioned well for the future.
Okay, let me ask this daring question. I mean, the tradition has been... Yes. The tradition has been... You will. A party comes into office and sometimes you have about 8 years. Averagely, they always use 8 years, apart from that cycle that broke during Mahama's time. However, what if there's a likelihood of this government going for 8 years? Why don't you allow Dr. Bawumia to just finish that 8 years, add the 4 years? If he doesn't win, fine, then you bring in the new face.
Yeah, elections are not elections are not retrogressive. Okay, life is lived forward, clearly understood backwards. And so, I mean, we cannot do that. So that's why it's a democratic party. That's why we are asking for the polls to be open. That's why the delegates have a choice to be able to decide who they'll vote for. That's why we are campaigning, we're speaking to the delegates in the language that they understand.
But this is a very unfair question to Dr. Bawumia.
No, but
Anne is suggesting that if we take Dr. Bawumia in 2028, we will lose, and when he loses,
no, but that is why. That is why. Yes, but that is why. That is why.
If this is the mood, then Dr. Anne, you should probably advise Dr. appropriately.
You see, that is why. Ask her if she thinks Ken O'Brien will be any better. I mean, we can have that conversation.
You see, for me,
he was talking about the 8-year cycle for the party.
That's all.
No, but
without having in mind whoever wins anyway.
Because if he wins in 2028, the expectation is not that he's going to go away in 2032.
4 years or 8 years.
That's not the expectation. He will have to do
that won't be the expectation.
But to assume that we should let him
because you see, if a party, I'm saying that if a party right now you are pushing for him to go out, there are there are delegates in the party that want him out. There are some who want him in. We are saying, okay, if you are even tired of him now, you just watch him in the next 4 years. Let's see what happens. If next 4 years nothing happens, then you can say, okay, now we are justified. You have to go for a new phase to come. Because there are people who are also saying that, no, Dr. Bawumia must retire now.
It's not because they have an interest in his
about Dr. Bawumia.
It's not about anything
You see, it's not about Dr. Bawumia.
No, but I'm making it about him.
No, but it should not be about him. It is about the victory of the party.
I get it.
I get my point.
The victory of the party will be based on who is leading the party.
And the right person to lead the party is Kennedy.
If there is a conviction
from where we are now,
there's a conviction
the right person to lead the party is Kennedy.
Do it, and Mr. Y can do it, Brian Achampong can do it, then to suggest that, let's just let him go.
I'll tell you
I mean, that's not a very strong argument.
That's why I actually sensed that it was a controversial question anyway.
I'll be honest with you. If elections are held today, I'm just almost done. If elections are held today between Kennedy and Mahama, Kennedy will win an election.
Says who?
Well, allow me to make my point.
Well, there's...
But did you organize that poll yourself?
This poll has come... This poll has come from the...
Insanity Africa.
Yes, is it Insanity Africa? I think
it's somebody from their own team.
No,
who is from our own team?
It is... I know. As for Insanity is from your team.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't know, but I know. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. What is the
I know that are from your team.
Info
I am here in the interest of the image of the party.
But you see, let me help you.
Help me.
Info analytics, which has been doing some friendly...
We know the bidding that they do, but you say I'm not interested in that. What I am interested in, Pius, and I'll tell you something. What I am interested in, Annie, what I'll tell you is that what I'm interested in, as I sit with the elders of the party, as I sit with the people that founded the next generation of the party from 1992, they want the party to recapture power in 2028. And we believe that there are three types of politicians. There are politicians that their party likes them, their country likes them. There are politicians that their party does not like them, their country likes them. And there are politicians that their party does not like them, their country does not like them. As I speak to you today, Kennedy is popular in the party and popular in Ghana. So this is the type of person we need to be able to win an election.
Okay.
And that's clearly what we need.
Okay, but the research was done by what?
Which one?
Insanity.
Ask him what. I call them that.
No, they have a group like that. No, they have a group.
I don't know any group.
No, they have published. They have published.
I don't know what the group is not like that.
Yes, you have been publishing data.
I don't want to use my time on that.
No, the data are you referring to?
What is the name of the group? I think there's a lot of overconfidence and
that's what the media says.
It's sanity.
What the media says is sanity. It is sanity. So you see the mischief that you're saying? You know, if we have to do mischief.
Annie, please let me respond.
Go ahead.
So as I was saying, I think there's a lot of, I don't know if it's excitement or they might live in a bubble because I don't know where so much confidence comes from. The very interesting, when I land, you understand, this is not for you, Pius, sit it out. The very interesting thing is that, you know, in 2023, the New Patriotic Party went for a Congress to pick a flag bearer. In that election, the interesting thing is that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was a candidate. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong was a candidate. when they went for that election amongst party people, where you would expect that with everything that my good friend Palgrave here is saying about the so-called popularity of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, you'd have expected that he would have won that election hands down. Or at least it would have been as close as when Honorable Alanche Martin and when Nanado went for the contest. But it was not close. So you are always drumming home this idea of popular grassroots. And it looks like this grassroots appeal and popularity only exists in their imagination. There's not a single shred of evidence to support the claim that they make over and over again, very confidently. Yes, like how are you comparing 37 to 37? What do you mean state backing?
4% with state
what do you mean?
60%.
You cannot be more, and I don't know what they always, you know, when you lose an election, you always find something.
Where's the research work of this Sanity Africa?
Oh, let them, it's from Ken's team.
Is the research work from Sanity Africa? Where is it?
So, Annie, you let me finish. The time will run out because I find that poll very uncredible. I can say that on record.
Because the reason here, I'm sorry,
yes, it's a psychological operation to shape perception.
The reason, I'm sorry, the reason.
So you are admitting that it's a psychological operation.
I'm sorry. The reason you are researching. I'm sorry. Let me make this point. I need to make this point. You.
That's correct.
That's correct. Doctor.
No, but by that same analogy,
all right.
There's never been a flag bearer election. There's never been a flag bearer. From now, the data you have from 1996.
I'm sorry.
You understand? This is about the interest of the party.
No, listen. You are taking their time.
Please let me listen to
you. You are a doctor. You appreciate research.
I do. Empirical research.
I'm sorry. The reason Metro TV normally will go for Musa Dankwa research is that it looks like we have moved from the point of just predictions and telling us what the trade is telling us into the numbers itself. So we see behind the numbers, and you appreciate it. He tells you everything from beginning to the end. He gives you his methodology. He gives you his margin of error. He gives you everything. So when you're analyzing it, in fact, sometimes he does, the recent one that came, he pitched everybody to everybody.
And you don't go back to...
We have the analysis of that. Is it the same Sane Africa has done, or they did a trend analysis?
And to be honest with you, I consume data as everybody does consume data.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
I know data that comes from the academic poll that has different ratings. I see data all across the board. You understand? So I know I consume data. I consume data.
They put Ken as almost
I consume
data.
I consume data as everybody consumes data. And let me tell you.
So this is from Sanity. All right.
Last time they got
this is from Sanity Africa.
Now they are almost 50%.
Producers, let me know. This is from who?
But Annie, I'll tell you something. Look, I don't know anything about
Where does Dr.
I
Champon lie on this?
As everybody's consuming data. But you know, Annie, do you know what is interesting? What is interesting and important for this conversation, right, is the final day. The final day is what is important.
Okay, I make your point, Land.
Let me just finish.
No, you are done. You're exhausting your time.
I'm just making my point.
Land,
I think this our
as for this data, it's not credible.
It's a breaking point, and I'm quite happy that today the mood has been quite jovial. We're all saying what we need to see, but I'm quite happy that there's still a lot of camaraderie. We are still one family. But what is important? What is very important for us is to be able to come and remind Ghanaians of what they remember us to be, the MPP, the kind of faith that they had into us, the reason why we all came into this party. I don't know why Palgrave always wants to say 92, 92, 92.
Why we should forget the history of the party?
Let me land, please. Let me land.
We have to even date the party from 1943.
No,
we're also
he also needs some time.
Yes, we should date the party from UP.
When they were also going into jail on behalf of that, even before the MPP was born, we can also come and ask you that where were your grandfathers? We are talking about today, the MPP today and Ghana today. who is best placed to come and lead us as president? Okay. Who has the kind of vision that can transform this country? Annie, please let me.
We have only 2 minutes.
Don't worry, I've not been able to properly make my point. I'll make it really quick. I just wanted to tackle this jobs issue because it's something that has been going round and round and round. And for us as a campaign, and looking at the vision of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, especially if you had the opportunity to look at his manifesto for the 2024 election, it is very, very, very heavy on empowering the private sector. The way to be able to create a buoyant economy that is growing is not by building simple factories, because we have tried that project before with the 1D1F project, which, I mean, depending on how our critics will say it was unsuccessful, but from where I sit, it was quite a success because quite a number of people were employed. Even looking at that, the statistics we have from the 1D1F organization was that we were only able to employ about 100,000 people. Indeed, according to what Palgrave was saying about, and what we have heard the Team Ken people go on and on about, Honorable Kennedy Japan employs about 8,000 people. You mentioned that we need about 500,000 jobs only this year. So obviously the problem or the way of solving this unemployment issue is not a matter of building factories. It is about innovating to be able to create a very buoyant economy, a very buoyant environment for companies to grow. Some of the things we wanted to do, like bringing a tax amnesty, some of the things we wanted to do, like taking 3% of the GDP and giving it to the private sector. Can we imagine how many construction booms will spring up if Ignite doesn't have to pay? You could have done that
when you were vice president. You were leading the economic management team.
Annie, are we really going to sit here and say that? And say that the vice president and the presidency are the same? No, we cannot run away from the fact that we haven't seen a Dr. Bawumia president. Again, to just last one. Even when we were doing the Ghana card, do you know how many people were employed at NIA? 60,000 people. That is more than 10 times.
They were not employed, they were engaged.
They were employed. They are still there right now. You can check. Permanent employment, 60,000.
Are you attempting to take credit?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying that creating jobs and solving the unemployment issue is not
because when it comes to the identification card, it looks like Dr. Bawumia is taking the claim, but that thing started way before this government actually.
Yes, it's something that previous governments had been trying to do and they hadn't been able to do successfully. But at the point,
I registered mine during
at the point, the Ghana card you are using today, you cannot say it was not done between 2017 and now.
No, but things advanced.
No.
It doesn't mean that he brought the idea.
No, we are not saying he brought the idea. The implementation, the current implementation of the Ghana card you are seeing today, used as a digital wallet, you cannot remove him from that.
Pius, you have the last word.
Yes, thank you very much, Annie. There's no doubt that the unique positioning of Dr. Bernard Champon as a unifier has become very, very important to our party at this point. Even around this table, you have seen what the situation has looked like. Number two, Dr. Bernard Champon has a greater appeal to critical demographics of this country. Young people, for instance, see themselves in him. He's the youngest out of all of the 5 gallant people contesting at 52 years. Young people are motivated by what he has been able to deliver in his own private capacity, and that is one of the strengths that I can concede to that Honorable Kennedy Japan has, that people can relate tangibly to some of the things that he has done in private capacity. But you see, that strength, that single strength that Honorable Kennedy has, Dr. Bernard Champon has. And then Dr. Bawumia's strength of being an academic and intellectual, somebody who can formulate vision because he has a PhD and so on. That strength that he has, Dr. Bernard Champon has. So in Dr. Bernard Champon, you find both Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia. Beyond that, his appeal to the young demographics of our country is higher. The info analytics research that we were talking about the last time said that 64% of young people want to vote for a younger person. And so if we are going to be led by the data, then it should be Dr. Bernard Champon. Again, Dr. Bernard Champon is the one with the time, the energy, and the resourcefulness to execute a rigorous campaign. And you can see at the moment what is happening. Some other campaigns have had to go on some sabbatical and they are now resuming. When we get into 2028, we are not going to have time for any sabbatical. We have to be on the ground every day, every minute.
This one is straight bullet into camps I haven't mentioned here. Or I have mentioned once.
No.
It's not true.
It is very true. So that is what it is.
Okay.
So for me,
okay.
The elections of the 31st of January is the election that will bring the NPP back to power. There is no doubt that one of the candidates is more electable. We have tried Dr. Bawumia. We have seen the outcomes. So for me, Dr. Bawumia is a settled matter. Can he win the elections for us or not? It's no longer a rhetorical question. It has been tested. And we know the answer.
The answer is what?
I think that you know the answer.
You
know the answer. You know the answer.
Okay, our time is up. Our time is up.
Just 30 seconds.
They will take us off.
No, just 30 seconds, please.
So
30 seconds. Every relationship, healthy one, ends up in marriage. What we have here, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Kennedy Japan, must end up as the president of the Republic of Ghana.
Dr. Kwame Boakye Dankwa is the national coordinator for the Kennedy Japan campaign team. And then Pius Enam Hajide is also spokesperson for Dr. Brian Achampong. Dr. Ekia Mwako is also deputy spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. There are so many doctors around here at the table. All right, yeah, but on that note, our time is up. We've had a fruitful discussion. Thank you, gentlemen and lady, for coming through. We're back tomorrow. Good afternoon, Ghana. Thanks for watching. Hey.
This week on Titans and Trailblazers.
I met a guy, this guy is a landscape architect. He had been hired by one of the generals in the U.S. Army to do some work at his house, and I went to his office, and he was going to use my company to do some of this work. This is a gruff-looking guy. The guy couldn't even walk that well. He has a long ponytail hair, and he looks like he just woke up from bed.
Yeah.
But when I walked into his office in his studio, so the studio where he does the designs and everything, I noticed the place was, just incredibly well designed.
Wow.
And everything. Wow. And then I come to find out, before this guy can actually talk to you in his office, you have to pay him $30,000.
No way.
The perception you give is going to determine which customers you're going to attract.
Totally agree.
So if you're making profit and your company is doing well, when you go through hard times,
you'll be fine.
It's very easy to go through
it. You can go through it.
Yeah.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Ebuka. So, I'd like for you to be on ground when the tractors come. You're the one that I trust to supervise and report back to me.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. You are the boss. And see, you paid me so well. You don't even need to ask for my assistance before I render this help to you. So I'll do it.
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
Okay,
so I'll see you.
Sir.
Yes.
I don't know if you will permit me to talk about this lady.
What exactly do you want to tell me?
She's beautiful, quite all right. And she's my sister because we are from the same town. But I feel you should not...
Ebuka. I don't want to hear it. Huh? Drop it.
Sir, are you sure you don't want to hear it? Actually, I've not even said what I'm about to say.
What else do you want to say? Not something damaging about her reputation. Ebuka, I understand the antics of village people and I wouldn't let you into that space. I love the woman and that's all that matters. As you might have noticed, she's carrying my child.
Huh?
Oh, yes.
What? Wait, you mean you've been going down with her